Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerds Fun 5 started playing paintball in 2000. He went pro in 2017 with Aftershock. He's played for the Ironmen. He's played for Infamous. He now plays for X Factor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, LJ Parrish.
Hey, Zyzek. Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming on. So, what's new and exciting?
A lot of work.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
How was Lone Star for you from your perspective?
It was fun. I got to see a lot of family, so that was cool. Meet some family members that I had never met before, and yeah, it was competitive and it was fun. It was a good time.
So what you communicated is more on like the personal aspect of the event.
Yeah.
More like your real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you from Texas?
No, my dad is from Texas. So my family lives in Texas still, and originally from Texas.
You know, LJ, when I first saw you play paintball, I was very impressed. And the moment that I had the opportunity to tell you that, I did. I don't know if you remember that, but it was at the Iron City, the Woods Ball event, and you were still playing for the Ironmen, so that would have been 2021 maybe.
Yeah.
And I came up to you and I said, it was at the right at the Woods Ball field, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know that I feel like you're representing the Ironmen really well.
Oh, that was you. I remember that.
Was me.
You had your mask.
Yeah. I knew that you had no idea who I was, but I wanted to tell you that.
Toronto station.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks, the dude. Mystery has been unlocked. Yeah, dude. So I think you're a baller. I think you're great.
Thanks, man.
And have for a while. Ever since I first saw you play on the Ironmen. So you've been playing pro since 2017. You've played for big names in paintball. The biggest, Aftershock, Ironmen, Infamous, now for X Factor. You got some good memories, LJ?
Yeah, I'd say I do. Some good memories from the start of my pro career, and even before that, when I started playing paintball, especially like memories with my family, and memories with my wife. Those are probably some of the best memories I have playing paintball.
What is your fondest memory playing paintball?
That's a tough one. I've got so many memories with friends and family, and
we'll share a couple.
So there is something that sticks in my brain that stands out the most to me. And that was a few years ago. My dad and my wife, we played a scenario event at Hell Survivors. And when you play those events, they allow all kinds of things like smoke grenades and flashbangs. So it can get kind of wild. And my dad is in his early 60s at this point, or his mid 60s, and he decides that he's going to play. So he didn't have any gear. So we had to load him up, and get him out on the field. And we just get, 40 yards from the true battle line where all the stuff was going down. And he gets set up by a tree, where he's starting to shoot paint at people, and he's getting excited and he's getting into it. And I'm standing back and watching him and my wife, and this helicopter or something, they come walking by, and they didn't realize, they were totally oblivious to what these people were doing, or what their capabilities were. But this guy pulls a flashbang out and uncorks it, tosses it towards my father, who's leaned up against a big oak tree. And
oh my God.
He's totally unaware of this flashbang grenade that rolls up to his foot, and it's touching his foot. And there's nothing I can do in this moment to change anything. I'm like, Dad, no. And the thing goes off, and I watch my like 63-year-old father do a somersault down like a hill. I'm like, oh my God, they killed my dad. Uh, I don't think I'll ever forget that moment, but it was a good time. We shot some people. We got shot up. So that was
Dude,
fun.
how's your dad doing? Is he all right?
Yeah. Oh, he was good. I don't think he was expecting that, to go down. And I don't think he was like anticipating rolling down a tree rooted hill, but he made
Yeah.
it. Yeah. He kept playing. He soldiered through it.
So it's not like a real flashbang, right? It's just something that makes a loud pop.
I don't know, dude. It explodes. That's all I know. And it was like touching his foot. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure like what was actually going to go down, if he was going to lose a foot
Jeez,
or
dude.
if it was just going to startle him really bad. I'm like, I don't want him to, hurt himself out there. We're trying to have fun. So
Dude, you played paintball with your dad and your wife?
yeah,
Is that like, I feel like that's living the dream. I don't know.
yeah, it's pretty fun, man. That's like I said, most of my fondest memories are playing with my friends and my family, um, and my wife included. We like to go to scenario events and play. We play those together, and we've played, I don't know how many, close to 10 Living Legends events
Jeez.
consecutively. Um, it's always a blast, to share the love of the sport with people that you love. That's the best.
Do you think that your wife can talk to my wife and get her to come out to a scenario event?
Maybe.
I mean, she's like super pregnant right now, but like after all that, then we can get her
I don't know about that, man. That's a
out.
tall order.
It is though. I think it's living the dream. Like there's not many paintball couples. There's not many professional paintball players that get to share the sport with their spouse. And if you love paintball the way that I believe that you love it, then it's a huge blessing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a blessing every time, I get to step on the field,
Yeah.
and really and truly, the love of the sport. I remember, being a child, like being a young adult and being an adolescent, and like coming off the field excited, rehashing what went down with your friends, and everyone's on, cloud nine. And
Yeah,
when you get to share that excitement with people that are closest to you, it just, it makes it that much more special.
it does. LJ, how did you find paintball?
So my dad, he worked with a guy that Steve Copeland, that played for Chicago Aftershock, and it was around Christmas time, and all the neighborhood parents were talking, and um, we always played like guns in the neighborhood, and we shot at each other with BB guns
Yeah,
and pellet guns and stuff. So they're like, we got to find
smart.
something for them to do that's not like so dangerous. So my
How old
parents,
are you at this point?
I'll be 32
No,
and
but when this is all going down.
oh, so I was 10. No,
Okay.
I was
Youngin.
11. I was 11 years old when they bought me my first paintball gun. It was around Christmas time, and the first time I played, it was in the woods behind my parents' house with some neighborhood friends. And it's wintertime in Michigan, and none of our equipment worked very well. One guy,
Yeah.
he had Piranha, his gun shot well, and he must have had like a winter ball or something, because he shot the crap out of the rest of us. So we were kind of like, stoked on that, and we ended up like, hey, we need to get our stuff repaired. Where do we go? So we went to the local paintball field in South Haven, and that next summer we ended up going there virtually every weekend. So from the time I was 11 years old, after the first time playing, I was hooked.
Interesting. So the guy that introduced you to paintball happened to play for the team that you first went pro with. Is that a coincidence?
uh, Probably a little bit, yeah. I mean, I I was local to the Aftershock program
Yeah.
or local. There's really nothing. Like I said, I ended up playing out of South Haven, and we did some local 5-man tournaments, some regional 5-man, like Division 3, Division 2, at best. But the path to the big show was in Chicago, relative to my location.
Right. And it's still quite the distance.
Yeah, I mean, from where I live, Chicago is about 3.5 hours.
So are you driving 3.5 hours for practice and things like that at this time?
Well, at the time I started playing at Badlands, I was 14, 15. So my parents would actually drive me. They drove me to a few tryouts, but a buddy of mine that played locally, he also drove, and he tried out for the same team. So we ended up going together quite often.
Did he make it?
Yeah, he was actually a pretty good player, and he decided to stop playing on his own volition. I guess he, wasn't having as much fun with it, but he was a really talented guy. His name's Andis Savicus. He was actually playing Division 2 when I started, and most of the guys that I started playing with, kind of plateaued. But he was one of the other guys that could have gone farther if he really wanted to.
I remember the name, but I don't remember him or anything else. But that's a name you don't really forget,
Yeah, strong Latvian name.
Yeah. So over the years, and all the wonderful players that you've played with. Actually, I'm going to save this one. Who is your favorite player right now to watch? Whether they're retired or continue to play today, who's your favorite player to watch?
So I always enjoyed watching Glenn Takamoto.
Yes, good one.
He was one of my favorite guys to watch. He was always so crafty, and smart, and he would pull off low percentage situations
for sure
with this craftiness.
Yes.
I liked watching him. I also liked watching Angel Fragoza.
Yeah.
He was like a thug on the field, I liked his style. So those are two guys that I really enjoyed watching, early on.
Yeah. It's a shame that neither one of them really want to play paintball anymore. But
yeah, I'm sure they want to.
That's true. Everyone wants to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about, who do you think is the greatest paintball player of all time in human history ever?
That's tough. I'm going to say Bruno. Mikey Bruno. All day.
Mikey Bruno. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greatest all time.
Why'd you pick him? I
don't know. Mike is always like a get it done type of dude. It wasn't always like the prettiest thing, but he's a killer, and he would always find a way to win somehow, and I don't know. He's one of my favorite guys.
Do you still talk to him at all?
Yes, I still talk to him. We're still friends.
Right on. Okay. So who's your favorite teammate of all time?
Of all time?
Shit. Of all time. So you had to have played with this person.
Damn.
And LJ, just so we're clear, by saying that this person is your favorite, that means that your other teammates are not your favorite.
Yeah, that's this is terrible.
I'm just kidding. Pick a couple. Shout out some homies.
Yeah. So a couple of favorite guys. I'll say Al Fernandez is one of my favorite dudes. Corey Hall was one of my favorite guys.
Ironmen.
Yeah.
At the time, right?
At the time. Let's see. I was always close with Rodarte and JJ Williams, Ryan Rodarte, JJ Williams. And currently, one of my favorite guys to play with currently is TJ. I love playing with TJ Danner. He's super talented, easy to work with, communicates well on the field, and just an overall extremely talented guy. Extremely capable. So those are some guys that I'd say I would favor as teammates.
Cool. Right on. Hey, I'm curious about something. Like as far as like from an organizational perspective, like how does Aftershock and Ironman and Infamous and X Factor like differ?
Um, I would say regionally, just the local characters are different from region to region. You know,
Mm,
you have your West Coast guy and your East Coast guy, your Midwest guy and your Southern guy. So there's a little bit of that, but I would say experience. The more experience you have in the organization, typically, you know, the better the organization works, or the smarter it works. If that makes any sense.
yeah. I mean, the reason I asked is because I've played for one organization like my whole career, and is the Ironman, and I always wondered like, how did things work on Aftershock? You know, how does it work on Infamous? It looks like they're having a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah.
so I just like wondered how how things differ.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. When I came onto the scene with Aftershock, it was towards the end of the team's existence in the current rendition of paintball, in
Yeah.
the pro setting. So, but the guys that were around earlier on in a different era of paintball, um, I'm sure things were dramatically different during that time. You know, they had a lot
Hmm.
of talent, and they were very determined to win. Those guys were scary. You know, they wanted to beat the shit out of you, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, um, uh, I'm sure things can be said about that era versus our era.
Totally.
Yeah, but the Ironmen, I thought they did things well. When Todd was around, it was great. I don't think they anticipated losing Todd. You know, COVID kind of changed things for a lot of teams. Uh,
Hmm.
so but I always thought they ran things well. Everyone was taken care of. Um, Enough to where I don't know what your experience with the Ironman camp was, but all I had to do was focus on myself and worrying about what I had to do to be the best player individually I could be for the team around me. Everything else is taken care of.
Yep.
So from that standpoint, things are ran very well.
Did you were you on the team at all when Nikki was coaching?
Yes.
So how is that? Because like I might be thinking about it from like an immature perspective, like as a young pro, but I always felt like um, I had Rich Telford or Shane Pestana, right? And then when I saw that Nikki was coaching, I was like, well, like she hasn't won anything. Like how I don't know. Like again, speaking from like an immature pro perspective, I was like, I don't know if I'd listen to her. You know?
Yeah, it was tough. I think Nikki did a good job with her experience.
Yeah.
She's been around pro paintball for a long time, um, and she wasn't by any means a bad coach. But there is something to be said for an individual that has pro experience,
Yeah.
a player. You know, your perspectives as a player versus like a non-player are gonna differ dramatically. So, and at the end of the day, it's not about the coach. Um, the coach calls the plays in the beginning of the game. They give you the first 10 seconds of the game, but the rest of it is on you
For sure.
as an individual.
Yeah. Ryan seems like he's a good coach, though.
Yeah. Ryan's a good coach. Smart
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. But it does depend on you individually as a player and working with the rest of your teammates, right? That's at the end of the day what it is. That's what wins games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, LJ, do you have a most cherished paintball item?
I do.
Ooh, it's a wait slowly, slowly, slowly. Just hold it up right there. Just let us gander at it. So that's a Shock Tech SFL, is that right?
That is correct.
It's a mini cocker. It's orange to yellow fade. I'm explaining it for people that are listening to the audio only version. Oh, it's got Parrish engraved on it. Woohoo! Woo! Does that have LJ on the other side? That is
No, it's lined up.
nasty. Man. And it's got wire detents. So you like yellow and orange, or is that just it just happens to be that color?
So my dad actually got this gun for me for my 30th birthday. And it was a complete surprise. I had no idea. If it were me, if I had a chance to redo it, I'd probably go a different way with the color. But this is totally like in my dad's style. So like flashy tequila sunrise. So this is what this is what I got. I'm not complaining. I'll play with this flashlight in the woods all day. I'll still shoot your ass. I don't care. This is the best.
So you
this
use
is the
that
best
thing.
shooting gun that. Oh yeah, hell yeah! This thing shoots better than any gun I own.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, nothing shoots like an autococker. Like
no, you can't replace the smooth feel.
The back block going back and forth.
Yeah, it's so accurate. It's got that one ball accuracy.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I feel like paintball guns, with the exception of like the 2003 Matrix, they don't shoot as far as an autococker. I could be wrong.
Yeah. These have that flat trajectory, almost like an Intimidator. But they shoot so straight, so flat, and I don't know, you just can't beat it.
X Factor uses Planet Eclipse, right? So do you like spool valve or like the Intimidator type bolts? Like the LV or the CS?
I'm an LV guy for sure.
Interesting. I haven't shot one yet.
Yeah.
But do they shoot like Intimidators?
There's a little more of a drop, kind of like more like a Matrix, where they have that arc at the end of their shot.
I like that.
But for me, it just like points naturally. You know what I mean? It's you kind of have to like lead it, or kind of aim a little bit higher for that, for that arc. But that's what I prefer.
Which one's quieter?
Definitely the spool valve.
Interesting. So LJ, what advice would you give, man, to someone that wants to make it to the pro level? What advice would you give?
I would say, take advantage of the network of clinics. There are so many pro clinics now, and absorb the information, as much information as you can, and play as much paintball as you can. Practice, make mistakes, try to fix them, and try to make yourself, as good as you can, I guess.
What do you think is more valuable, an hour of snap shooting or an hour of playing paintball?
An hour of playing paintball, I think, is definitely more valuable. You have different scenarios that you're working through, and different experiences, versus just getting into a rhythm, snap shooting. Fundamentals are important, but I think decision making is more of an asset.
Yeah. And you know what Todd Adamson recently said is one of the things that you learn about from playing paintball versus doing drills is how other people react. I think that's an important one too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So LJ, what are you most thankful for that paintball's given you?
Man, so much. I mean, a lot of friends, a lot of memories, and it's a part of my fabric. It's a part of who I am. It gives me something to um, aspire to. It keeps me motivated, keeps me active, and it's just an all around benefit to my life. So there's a lot of things, but I would say good experiences, good friends.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, LJ, thank you so much for your time here. Is there anything that you'd like to part with for the paintball community?
Oh man, I think I'm good.
Right on, dude. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me.